Yo, welcome to the Flex Zone. It's your man. It's your boy. It's your host, your friendly reminder, Jay Henderson. And I'm here with a new episode. This episode is actually an answer. It's an answer because people want to know where I'm from. And people want to know how I start podcasting. So, a lot of people, when they hear Louisiana, the first thing they think is New Orleans. They think Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Alexandria, and all of the party places, the main attractions. So many people come to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and the food is magnificent. It is next level. You ain't had food if you ain't had Louisiana food. And I think everybody in the world know that. If you hadn't been to Mardi Gras, maybe you from another country. And I think everybody in the world know that. So I could brag all day on Louisiana because I've been in so many parts of Louisiana. Let me tell you something. Louisiana is a beautiful state. And they have beautiful people, beautiful music. We got so many amazing artists from Louisiana, and they represent in an amazing way. One of my favorite artists from Louisiana, and I don't think a lot of people know this. I don't really speak on this just from Louisiana. One of my favorite artists is Kevin Gates. I love Gates because he's a different kind of hustler. He's a different kind of person, Boosie is another one of my favorites. When it comes to Louisiana, the food, the people, the music, the vibe, it's everything. And we have this thing where people think that everybody from Louisiana talk a certain way. Some of us are country, like myself, and some of them have a Cajun accent. Now, the Cajun accent is a little different than the way the rest of the people talk. If you've been in New Orleans long enough, or if you've been around the area long enough, you may hear people hold their words a little longer, or they may not say baby, they may say baby. Hold on, this Tasha calling. This is going to be her first time on my podcast. Hello? What's up, babe?
Oh my gosh, it's freaking hot out here.
Oh my gosh, babe, you on my podcast right now.
No, I'm not.
She don't even know she on the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Babe, I'm so serious.
No, then I'm hanging up.
Please don't hang up. Babe, let me ask you a question while I got you on here.
Yes.
What's it like? I got to put the microphone up close so the people could hear this answer. What's it like dating a man from Louisiana? Because the topic that I'm speaking on right now is about Louisiana, and you got yourself a good old Louisiana man.
Okay, I do have a good Louisiana man.
Mm-hmm.
You better not have me on the daggone podcast.
You are definitely. I'm talking about so serious right now.
Wow.
So you got to give the people your real answer, like just raw and uncut.
Well, I can definitely say that you, even though you're from Louisiana, are definitely different from men that I've dated in the past.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like it. We're off to a good start.
Oh, Jesus.
Do I get on your nerves sometimes?
Of course you do. Just like I'm sure I get on your nerves. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Nothing we can't handle, though.
Nah, we making our way on through this thing. Tasha and I met on TikTok, and I don't like talking to people long on the phone. But babe, our first night on the phone, how long was we on the phone, babe?
4 hours.
Oh my gosh! And I do not like talking on the phone, but we was on the phone for 4 hours because it was good conversation.
Yeah, it was. It was nice.
Babe, what is one thing that you really like about myself?
You're humorous at times.
Oh my God!
You're just a sweet guy. You really are.
Thanks, babe. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something that I like about Tasha, that I love about Tasha. She's really, really different. She is phenomenal. She's very, very responsible. Very responsible. I know I said one thing, but I'm probably on number 5 now. She she got herself a young boy out here. She got herself one of these young boys.
Who's young?
Me, babe.
Oh, Jesus. No, you are not. You're 45.
Wow. Wow. Well, we this is something that we joke about all the time, our age difference. Yeah, I got myself an old lady. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, babe, I was explaining to them, you've been to Louisiana how many times?
Oh, quite a few.
And but she hadn't really been to the hot parts of Louisiana. She just been to my little city, my little hometown that I love dearly. And I've been to her hometown, which she think is small, but I think it's huge compared to, because y'all got like 44,000 people.
Approximately, yeah.
And we got like 7,000. So it's a huge difference. Man, how do you feel about your first time?
Going to Louisiana?
No, being on the podcast, I knew I was gonna get you.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna get it all right. You gotta be ashamed of yourself.
Man, I knew I was gonna get you.
You should have just ignored my call.
No, I could have. I could have, but I had to get you, babe.
But that's not very nice. You know, I'm on my lunch break. I'm getting ready to go back into work.
Oh, babe, what you eating? Share with us what you eating.
The people don't need to know that. Let's just say it's not all that healthy.
Oh my gosh.
Pray for me.
I'm praying for you, babe.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I appreciate you dropping in on us.
Oh, yeah. No problem. You continue talking to your people. You have a fantastic rest of your day. And everyone else.
I appreciate it, babe. You'll be streaming tonight by 7 o'clock.
That is so horrible. Okay.
I love you, babe.
I love you.
All right. Bye-bye. How cool was that? So I've been, man, Tasha actually have 2 episodes that we're gonna stream, and I think they're gonna be phenomenal. But that was pretty cool. I figured she'd call. That's why I kind of waited and and drug it out a little bit. So I'm actually from Tallulah, Louisiana. A lot of people wanted to know, and my mom asked me a question yesterday that a lot of people has asked me. She wanted to know what made me. So I'm name dropping in this. She wanted to know what made me start the podcast. So I actually worked for this company in Maryland, Tempe, and of course I met some amazing people. I'm a name drop because they watch and they support. So Troy, first of all, I got to shout out my guy Troy. That's my bro from New York, from Guyana, but live in New York. Jackie, Karina, Tony, Bam, uh, uh, and all of my people, that worked at Tempe. I met some on my way out that was pretty phenomenal, but there was some that I worked with every day, and they made things so much better at the job, and it was just cool. It was cool being there, and they were so supportive when I first started the podcast. So how I ended up starting the podcast was Chris. Me and Chris had talked about starting an online financial institution. So we actually got some of the groundwork covered and um, had a couple of meetings. And of course, that takes a whole lot of work. So we figured kind of taking a different route that we probably could get some things done a little quicker. So Chris came up with the craziest idea to start a podcast. And oh my God, Chris, if you ever hear this, I'm not saying that you don't get things done. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you procrastinate a lot. So Chris like had the hardest time getting back to me with a lot of stuff, and we was trying, outside of working and just dealing with the job itself. I think he was dealing with a lot of stuff when it come to himself and the job. So we was kind of back and forth with trying to. So Chris came up with a name, and we did the ad, and it was just like a lengthy process. So I said, meanwhile, I said, well, maybe I'll just try it out a little bit, and not knowing that we would move as quick as we did, because Tasha and I had talked about moving, but I didn't know that we would end up in a situation that we end up in, a disaster that we ended up in, that kind of forced us to move like we moved. So during that time, it was just like a struggle trying to focus, getting to work, because we was uprooted and everything was just like a chaotic mess, and we was just hanging on, just hanging on and trying to make the best of a bad situation. And I came up with, I can't even remember the first name. I can't even remember the first name that I came up with. But I was thinking, like, dang, like what could really solidify the way I think? What could really, a name that would just stand out? It would basically personify what I think and what I would like to put into a title that would stamp my individuality. And the first thing that like popped in my head was the flex song. Like everybody have a mode. Like everybody have that mode that they go in, and everybody have a different flex. Like everybody's flex is different, and my flex, I think, is being true to who I am. Being true to who I am. I remember going through parts of my life where I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in. And validation is subjective. So you have to subject yourself to people around you and to things that you really don't want to be a part of, or that people that you really don't want to be around. And you have to go through those phases where it's uncomfortable for you, but at least you fitting in for the moment, So so we kept bumping into each other at work, and it was just like, dang, like I had started actually doing the YouTube videos. And when I noticed, like, any progress is progress. Let me first say that. Any progress is progress. If you post a video and it get one view, that's progress. If you get one view for 3 months, that's progress. Because the Bible tells us, if you are watching this podcast and you believe in the Bible, if you are faithful over a few things, that He'll make you a ruler over many. So, of course, the views was like, I was like, dang, at least, but of course, it kind of poked at me a little bit. But I'm thinking, like, at least somebody's watching. And I think back to the time when my dad would travel an hour one way and back home, an hour back home. And so 2 hours just to preach to one or two people. And I was like, man, that's mad dedication. That is mad dedication. And the videos started to pick up a little bit. I noticed the views started to pick up. So I'm like, maybe I'm actually onto something. You know what I'm saying? So I went on in October the 14th of 2021, 2022, we went on and just stamped the name like for a year, and what I paid to take ownership of that name, like it has increased by a large margin, substantially. And it's just like when you start seeing progress, it kind of hype you up. That's that boost that you need. And I'm watching a podcast and I see Poor Minds, the Poor Minds podcast. And I'm like, dang, that like they just did their own tour and like it took off just two young ladies from Houston, Texas, And I'm like, dang, it was just so interesting, just learning so much stuff from it, what all you could do, how many people you could reach. I don't think I was so much caught up in the status part of it. It was just me being able. I like to talk. I like to share information with people. If you know me, then you know that. So it jumps off everything, get to moving, and we had to move. Right in the midst of a good takeoff, we had to move from Maryland to Georgia. And it was just crazy because when we got to Georgia, it was just like a whole nother environment. I'm from the South. Tasha's from up north. And it was just like a whole nother environment. I've been to Atlanta quite a few times, but just to live here and get a feel of the people, it was totally different. That's how I started. But being from Tallulah, it's just Tallulah's a small town where everybody literally love everybody. I think you have moments in towns and cities and states where, of course, there are just like, when I say everybody love everybody, I mean, if you deal with a certain group of people, it's going to be some drama. It's drama everywhere you go. I would be crazy to stage that image. Like it's no drama. It's drama everywhere you go. But for the biggest part of it, it's a small town and we do us. You know what I'm saying? We do us. We turn up the way we turn up. We have a good time the way we have a good time. We have so many successful people from Tallulah, so many entrepreneurs and CEOs literally that do their own thing. And it's so admirable to be from a small town and see so many prolific people. I think Chastity said it the other day on the podcast where she saw back, being 70s baby, she saw Black families together, Black teachers, Black lawyers, Black judge, Judge Angela Claxton, and so many other phenomenal people that we have in our city, Anthony Lucas, just so many phenomenal people that we have, and it's so much love. I love where I'm from. Of course, sometimes we leave, we move and go away to other places, but when it comes to the place that I represent, I'm off the fairground. 318-574. That's what I know. Off the fairground. Little bitty neighborhood where everybody know everybody, It's just if I could take everybody that I've met to not just to my hometown, but to see how much fun can be there, just like there's drama everywhere. We deal with different types of drama, different types of people, different types of hurt. You see things that you see in big cities, you just see it on a smaller scale. But it's where I'm from. I'm from Tallulah, Louisiana. and to be able to reach people in so many other countries and so many other cities and so many other states. I've seen Jamaica, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Africa, so many other countries that listen to this podcast and that support this podcast. And I'm so grateful to be able to play a small part in representing my city, representing our state, and doing what we do, to be successful out here and to make a difference in the world, and I couldn't do that without my family. My mama had 10 children, 11 children, because we got a sister that we just can't leave out. Debbie is not my mama's biological child, but she has been in our lives since we was children. Toya has played such an amazing role in our lives. Our older sisters, each one of my brothers, we as a family, we have those challenging moments where sometimes we lose sight of the word, but we always hold on to the meaning. I don't care what go on. I don't care how mad you get at one of your family members. It has to be really, really deep for something to turn into hate, So of course, just like in as a family, we go through those struggles, but I think that's what makes the bond real. That's what makes the love real. We lost our dad, which was a big, big, big part of our existence. The reason why we're here. And it has such an impact on each one of us, and in a different way, because he meant so much to us. And each one of us, we have so many kids, each one of us have a different connection with our mom and with our dad. Each one of us have a different way we deal with them as children. So it's just, I don't know, over the years, I think I've grown so much. I've seen so many people around me grow. I've seen people fall back, but the thing about it is we have to catch life by the tail, because one day you're going to be stretched out across the front of a building in a box, and people going to walk by. And I said this in a recent podcast, people going to walk by and they're going to look down at you. And in that moment, it's over. It's over for you here on earth. But the thing is, what did you do? What do they have to remember you by? Because people could cry when they're walking around that box. They can have different types of emotions. But as life progresses, that pain and that sadness start to turn into joyful memories. And they start to turn into moments. I remember when we did this. I remember, what are you doing while you're here? You know what I'm saying? So that's what's most important to me, and how I represent myself on this podcast, because I don't just represent me, I represent my family, I represent my city, I represent my state, the people that I'm connected to, and each name that I called out from Maryland, it's so many more. There's so many more people that I got a chance to meet, that I got a chance to connect with. My brothers from Maryland, Miguel, Billy, Joe. It was challenging just to make the decision to leave. Mika, getting a chance to, Tasha and I spent a lot of time with them. We got a chance to go out with Miguel and Melissa, to have dinner. We got a chance to spend so much time with Joe and Mika, Billy and his wife, and Tasha's mom, and all of her family members, all of the honeys, the Hagerstown honeys. Tasha has an amazing group of friends and family that supports her, and I like the way they interact with each other. And it was so cool just getting a chance to see a part of a different culture, a different background, meeting the boys for the first time. When it comes to that, I've had the opportunity to build a bond. Of course, Derwin Derwin has been in my life. We've had that time and we've grown so much with each other, but it was just different sharing that with somebody else, you know what I'm saying? So now I have other boys in my life, other men in my life that I share that with, those feelings and those emotions and strengths and weaknesses. As men, we grow and we learn from that, you know, just like I learned from Reb, you know, just how to maneuver around so many situations when it comes to my existence as an individual, as a man, you know. So I'm really, really grateful for the amazing people that played such a powerful role in my life, you know. And that's what we need these days with everything that's going on with mass shootings and mass killings and just so many devastating things. We need to grab a hold of each other and love on each other and be that peace in ourselves so it can manifest through us to the world. And you never know what difference you can make in a person's life. You never know what difference you can make in a person's life, you know, when it comes to your existence and what you mean to the world, you know. So I just want to say this. I appreciate y'all being in the Flex Zone. Tallulah, I love you. Home is where the heart is. Shout out to Hagerstown. Man, big salute. I love y'all. To the people that I've met up here in Georgia since I've been here. It's right here in the left part. Y'all in my heart, and I appreciate everything. So that's how my podcast got started, and that's where I'm from. For all the people around the world that want to know where I'm from, that's where I'm from. I'm from Tallulah, Louisiana. Hey, y'all, check us out on Pandora. You can stream us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. This will be streaming on YouTube, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer, and so many other platforms that we stream on that I didn't even know till last week. So I hope y'all check it out. Thank you for everybody that's been a part of this interviewing process. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And stay tuned for some more good content. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. It's the Flex Zone, baby.